always PI is the top of the number because it has the highest number of, you know, cases, money, investments, open-minded about growth and business. And then basically the next contingency practice is like employment, and then maybe workers' comp, then maybe a little bit of a mass tort. It'd be a bit before it gets into. I have a friend who works for a big law employment defense, and they have some major clients, and they just got notification from clients that if you're using AI for any of these segments, like creating a demand motion, the discovery summary and so forth, we're not paying your hourly bill.
Yep. That's
so,
that.
so,
Yes.
so that was like a 30% cut on the revenue immediately because, this Fortune 500 company was my client who says, look, if you're using AI, I'm not going to pay you whatever $1,200 an hour fee because you just use AI for it. And I
There,
know.
there, there are courts creating. There are actually court rules that have been released already across the country where, if you use AI to create even part of your pleading, you have to disclose the fact that you used AI to create all or part of your pleading, which is really interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, they're trying to protect a few different things. One is like what I talked about is this billable hour thing. If you bill me for 10 hours at $2,000 an hour rate, and you use 15 minutes of the AI to generate everything, somebody should protect me as a client of the firm. The second is that protecting the client from the fully AI generated outcomes that is not audited, no regulation, no auditing, no nothing, and I just submit it to the court or whatever, and it blows up, and you're like, oops. I mean, so there needs to be regulation and protections and stuff around the AI, and I think we haven't seen much at all. Just like ChatGPT changing that they cannot do medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, there's going to be a lot more of that to come. That is going to limit their advisement.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think it's an interesting thing that's happening, and no one really knows what's going to happen. But I've got a question related to that for you because you were one of the earliest champions of virtual staffing in the legal space, and you clearly saw something that other people didn't see at the time. And I wonder, is there something on your radar right now that you're seeing that you're like, oh, that's going to be a thing? Is there something that you're seeing right now that no one else is seeing?
I like to think so. That's why it keeps our momentum going. Like you said, we're the largest provider in that segment, and there is a reason because we have a 96% retention on the virtual staff that we place in the firms. It is about 28% higher than your local staff. So we keep them longer than you can in your own office.
Well, okay, so I'm not gonna let you off the hook with that. Let me rephrase my question. What are you seeing now that other people aren't seeing when it comes to tech or anything at this point? Because I want to get your prediction on the record.
Is it is that the law firms, for most part, going to be running 80% of the operation with AI? It started from marketing all the way to settlement. So not just the legal process, the financials and the marketing and the client generation. Like when I was doing the consulting, no single attorney was able to answer half of my questions. Like, what's your cost of client acquisition? What's your total cost on the case, and how much is your net profit per case in a different category, like pre-lit, lit, whatever? Nobody has any answers. They're all just like, they have good days when they get a big check, they have bad days when they get subbed out. I was like, okay, any answers to anything? Or what's your demographic target for your client base? Or none of this stuff. So what we're developing and what my vision is to automate the heck out of that. So I'm not asking no attorney, no managing attorney, any of those questions. I just ask my AI. It's like, how do I get him in? How long do I keep him? How much is it going to cost me month to month to month to month to just keep him on the system and into the process? And when they got out, what was my net profit as a business owner?